Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Always 3 with me, Alpha Omega, and the Kaiserliche Marine. So the year 1912 is behind us and we are starting a fresh new year of 1913. And what's the situation? Well, it's sort of normalizing, I have to say. The highest tension on the diplomatic board is, of course, between us and Great Britain. It's kind of funny when you think about it, because we had elevated tensions with Great Britain since the very first year of the game, or so I think, and it never really led to a war. We have been at war with Great Britain, but it was not because of our high tensions. So it's kind of funny to see it, get back there. I wonder if we played someone else, like, say, Spain or Japan, would there be such high tensions between Germany and Great Britain as well, or would that just be normal, like any other relations? It's kind of funny. I mean, we're not even getting that historical animosity thing. It's just we hate each other in this game, and I don't know why. When you look at the board, otherwise, Italy and Austria-Hungary have elevated tensions, us and United States, and a little bit of tensions between us and Russia, us and France, and Spain and United States. The rest is actually pretty cool. I see a lot of ones and even zeros, but there are only two alliances present in the game right now, which is Great Britain and United States, and us and Austria-Hungary, which makes a lot of sense because both of these alliances actually worked as they were supposed to in the previous war, and while we achieved victory, Great Britain and USA didn't lose anything. So it's kind of cool to see that they're still hanging on to it. We'll see if it persists. As far as tonnage goes, there has been a lot of changes this year. Great Britain and France lost quite a lot of tonnage. They probably... I guess they discarded quite a lot of ships, and there's no war, so that might be the only option. We have added nearly 40,000 tons, which is represented by the two battle cruisers that we put online and some other ships. Russia lost a bit, USA lost a lot of tonnage, Japan added 13,800 tons, and there were minor changes for Italy and Austria-Hungary, which discarded I guess one or two ships, and Spain, which added 6,100 tons. Overall, the tonnage on the seas has dropped by 47,400 tons, which is kind of interesting. When we look at the graphs, you can see that we're still not rising. I kind of find it interesting. I wonder if the 1904 peak was a fluke. Maybe there were, very high tensions across the entire world, and that led to it. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be continuous and gradual increase, and, we're going to just look at that as a little bit of a downturn, but I'm still interested in seeing when is going to be the next peak and when we are going to actually get over, what was it, 2.7 million tons, something like that. Because right now we are, oscillating at around 2.2 million. So we'll see. Relative tonnage comparison, as you can see here, we're back to nearly 15% by adding the two new battle cruisers. Great Britain dropped to about 18.5%. I'm happy to say that Spain is approaching 5% pretty quickly. Austria-Hungary is about 5.76% of the total tonnage. Italy 7.64%, so they're getting back up slowly, but they're getting back up. France holding at around 13.5%. Russia again holding at their own pace, and Japan actually keeps increasing their fleet. They're at 10.27% right now, so it's kind of interesting. But Great Britain is really the loser. They started with nearly 30%, and they are now a sub 20. So their weight in the overall world situation is dropping significantly year on year, every year. Economy and budget. Well, we're at the B+. With the increased tensions, we actually got almost exactly to where we were projected by the trend line, which is great. But our expenses are yet again higher than our income. I don't know how I'm doing it, but almost all the time in the previous past, 1, 2, 3, 4 updates, we have higher expenses than income in January. It's kind of bizarre. And looking at the graph, it happens more than 50% of the time, I guess. I feel like maybe I'm saving a lot of money in the first and second quarter of the year, and then I'm just spending it once we get a little bit higher on on the side of funds. But it's kind of interesting to think about it that way. Still, we had a nearly 30% increase per month, which translates into 204,520 Reichsmark per year. Our funds also more than doubled. We are now at nearly 7,000 Reichsmark in reserve, which is 3.3% of our yearly budget. But total expenses are now at 102.7%, which is still, honestly, a decrease from the previous years when you look at that. Only 2.7%, that's pretty cool. But still, we are over. Ship cost increased by 40%, which comes from the fact that our battle cruisers are actually in active service. I need to look into that and put them in reserve, because we really don't plan into getting into any kind of conflict right now. But I mean, for roleplay reasons, it was kind of cool to let them, work up and, test the ship and see that all the systems are working fine. Current ship cost is a little under 20%. The construction cost increased by 11% to over 60% of our total budget. And I wanted to point out that we now pay for aircraft as well. 110 Reichsmark per year, which is less than 0.65%. It's actually rounded to 0.63, but it's going to start increasing dramatically. I checked in the almanac in the game that we're pretty on the low end when it comes to Zeppelins, so we need to get more of those up in the air, build more air bases, and have a bigger coverage. We can look into that in January to see how we fare. But I'm really interested in the airplanes, which we unlocked. We unlocked the tech category, I think it was November or December last year. So we're going to see if we can get at least the first level in it this year. Research at 12%, training at slightly less than 100%, fortifications, no change there. So things are looking pretty cool. Here's the budget overview. You can see that we are on an upwards trend again. And here's the research. So, as I said, we didn't get too many levels. We got one level in armor development, one level in light forces and torpedoes, one level in torpedo technology, 2 in submarines, which is good, that makes me happy, 1 in anti-submarine warfare, but still no depth charges. I wonder when they're gonna come around. I'm pretty sure they were already present at the outbreak of First World War, so we should get them, very soon. Fleet tactics gonna level up, and as I mentioned, we now have naval aviation, light and air, and shipboard aircraft operations. So I'm really looking forward to exploring these new categories. No change in naval guns. Fleet overview. There's not much to say here. You guys know what our plan is. We're building 2 more battle cruisers up to having 6 heavy cruisers. We're building 1 more of the König von Bayern class. We're building a light cruiser of that upgraded Karlsruhe class. I think we called it Leipzig. I'm not sure. We can check. And we're building 5 more submarines. We're rebuilding quite a lot of ships. We rebuilt all of the corvettes. And I think once we finish or get a higher budget, we'll need to look into more rebuilds, because many of our ships are actually heavily aging. This is mostly pointing to the battleships. We need to get them into rebuilds as soon as possible. I know that they're pre-Dreadnoughts, but they can serve us for a number of years in the future if they are properly maintained and rebuilt. So let us look into that. So the dramatic decrease in the size of the Navy after the war is quite apparent, but we have stabilized and we're building quite a lot of new ships, so we'll see an upwards trend hopefully soon, and the capability and capacity of our Navy is also going to be greatly increased. So here's just some information about the ships. As you can see here, we're building the München and Leipzig. Okay, Leipzig is the Berlin class battle cruiser. The new Hansa-class Karlsruhe, Breslau. Okay, we didn't call it Leipzig, it's Breslau. It's going to be ready in 1914, the upgraded version of the Karlsruhe. I actually wanted to mention one thing, and that is that we nearly rebuilt all of our destroyers, and I dug around on the internet to see how the mining works and how mines work, and it's fully automated. So if you just keep ships which are capable of laying mines in a certain area, they will lay mines, and then it's there's a possibility for the enemies to actually hit those mines. And it works the same way when you have a navy with minesweeping capabilities. They will automatically work on that throughout the months and turns. So we just need to make sure that we have mining capabilities very high in certain areas where we plan to operate. And this is actually easy because you can see it on the area or base overview. I'm gonna show you what I mean when we jump into the game. Now Frederica's have also been rebuilt, which is pretty good. We get one of the sea level. I actually want to build another one, at least one more, because these are very valuable. I know that Frederica's can also mine lay, but sea level is much bigger, a bit faster, and it has better guns. Yes, it has better guns, and thus can, ideally be a better mine layer. Bases and non-fortifications, as you can see, we have airship base now in Northern Europe, in the Baltic and in Indian Ocean, and we have the cargo capacity of 30,000 tons. I actually want to build another airbase in the Indian Ocean so that we have one in Eritrea and one in Tanganyika. Right now I think we have only one in Eritrea, so that's going to be the primary place where we want to build. And the private sector added 1,500 tons to auto cargo capacity, so we are now sitting at not around, but exactly 30,000 tons, which is cool. An officer corps, last but not least, we had a little bit more of a decrease here in numbers. I think we are at 100 officers or 102 officers right now. But what I'm not really happy with, the below average amount of officers seems to be increasing. We lost a lot of above average officers. And we have no more brilliant officers, but we have 2 incompetent. So great. Yeah, amazing. And 46 unknowns. But I think that's also, we can write it off to the fact that we have a lot of officers that have been recently promoted, so we don't know what their skill will be. And as a closing word, we have retired all of the Gavions. And that is it. Yep. So the Gavions has been retired. And actually, one more thing to the navies. I apologize, I mentioned that, but yes, I found out that I haven't marked that properly. But one of the Gazelles has actually been lost in the line of duty of Sardinia. It was sunk there by a submarine, I think. So we lost one of the Gazelles. So for some time I had them marked as 4, but it's gonna be actually 3 here. So yeah, cool. I'll see you in the game. So here we are in the game, and before we do anything else, I want to check that we're not accelerating any construction, because that keeps happening. What I want to do now is I actually want to look at the ships at active duty or inactive duty, which is Berlin, Frankfurt, and König von Bayern, and we can actually put them all into reserve. Yes, that's gonna actually save us a huge amount of money. So the only ones that we actually have now in active service are the corvettes, which is perfectly fine. Now, as I mentioned into the update, you can see, yes, here, minelaying and minesweeping capacity. You can see that what our ships can do in these areas, how fast they can lay mines, and how fast they can actually minesweep. And one thing that I had no idea about, but is actually quite important, when I was researching how mines work, I found out that coastal fortifications actually lay mines. I had no idea that was the case, but they do. They do, and surprisingly to me, these mines are marked by a rounded circle, which I saw many times in the game, but I thought that it was, some target or something. No, it points out where a minefield is. So you should avoid when you see that in the battle. Or alternatively, you can lead your opponents there and they can hit the mine. Or you can hit the mine. That can also happen. Be careful. Be careful with mines. Okay, either way, we have airships in Germany in Wilhelmshaven. We have airships in the Indian Ocean in Eritrea, in the base of Massawa, and we need to build one in Tanganyika. So let us actually do that right now, because that is something that I want to do. So build fort base. From that, build an airship base in Tanganyika. I'm gonna build it in Dar es Salaam, because we want to do that. As I mentioned, we really are on the low amount or low level when it comes to airships. We have only 32. Great Britain has 72. France has 40. Italy has 40. Russia has 40. Japan has 24. USA have 16, and Austria-Hungary and Spain have none. But the fact that Great Britain has so many is a little bit disconcerting. I might consider building another airship base in Emden, because the Northern Europe and Indian Ocean are, as I said, going to be contested areas for us. Okay, well, with that said, let's end the turn and see what February brings. We've commissioned the submarine SSU-206, and our destroyer V6 has finished reconstruction. A spy from Spain has been discovered. What do we do? Let's give it maximum publicity and denounce them. And we got breakthrough in explosive shells, improved fuses, increase in high explosive shell damage. Good. Newspapers in Spain are clamoring for the Navy to build more battle cruisers. We have the new submarine Grand Admiral Schulze is of average ability. Captain Suzy Hermann is promoted to Grand Admiral. Frigate and Captain Ciliax? Ciliax. Is placed in commander of Stralsund. USA and Great Britain lower tensions. Italy and Austria-Hungary lower tensions. Okay, cool. And oh my god. Wow, our budget has just jumped up like crazy. Well, that means that I'm actually gonna start building some destroyers, because that is what I want to do. That's what I always wanted to do. So you guys have mines, which is great. So how much do you guys cost? 291. Okay, so let's build 2. G1, G2, and actually let's build 3. G3. Why would you name that one S20? Come on, game. G3. And I think we can actually build another coastal submarine as well. Here. I'm building 2 regular and 2 coastal. How many are we planning to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're gonna have 10 coastal submarines, and we're gonna have 4, 5, 7. Wait, what? 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we need to build one more regular submarine. Just for good measure. Medium range submarine. You're gonna be U-209. U-209. Good. One for build cost 200. Okay. So good. I'm obviously determined to spend all of our money, as you can see. Cool. I think with that said, we can end the turn again. USA has completed battleship Illinois, the largest dreadnought in the world, at 29,400 tons. And we get gyro stabilizer. Reduces gunnery penalty from sea state. Okay, so set finished turn working up. Can we have a look at Illinois? And our budget has been increased again, and we're not even doing anything. So Illinois, 10 14-inch guns. 25-inch guns and 4. Okay, so this ship is super dangerous. It has 11.5-inch belt, but it's capable of only 21 knots. So our battle cruisers, Berlin, and the others have actually a higher armor protection. And while we have a little bit less guns on them, they're much faster. So I would still bet that our battle cruisers could take it down. One-on-one, I don't think so. We would be more maneuverable. So maybe if we can keep them at the edge of our edge of the range. But hard to say. It would be really about who is lucky when it comes to hitting, and because they would have so many more guns over us. I think for extra 14-inch guns, it would be very easy to imagine it would be them. So not exactly great. With that said, we really need to start looking at rebuilding some of our ships, and again, I mean the Deutsche Kaisers. So what can we do with you guys? We definitely need to replace the machinery to coal and turbine, and we need to get you to at least 22 knots. That's just what needs to happen. Now we definitely need to upgrade the guns as well. And the director. So if we made you bulged, we get you to 24 knots. It'd actually be easier to do it this way. And it's like 30,000 investment right now. But there isn't much else that we can do with it. We definitely need to increase their speeds. How fast is the Donau? It's 20. Wait, what was the structure? The division editors. The second battle group is Rhine and Oder, and they're 24 knots. So we definitely need to get it to 24 knots. I was right. I was thinking that, Okay, let's look at Donau, because that one is a little bit more important. It has -2 quality guns, though. Can we rebuild the turrets? 16-inch or smaller 1-gun turret. 8-inch or smaller 3-gun. So I could potentially go to do something like this. 14-inch guns. But they would be single ones. But that would really save us a lot of space. Jesus, that would really save us a lot of space. Shouldn't fly, right? Yeah, we can rebuild it to that. But we can definitely upgrade their other guns and give it more of them. And more of you. No torpedo defense. Snap, these ones would be a really good way of airplanes. If we could make this happen and give it... Yeah, but we really need to... Okay, so we just definitely need to wait for the aircraft, because with the rebuild, I like the rebuild to 14-inch guns. It would have only 2, but they are really powerful. When you look at the data, that's 22,700 yards with penetration 8.19 inches. And when we look at what we started with, the range is only 16,400 yards with 6 inches penetration. So if I go to 14, at 16 you have, if you hit once, but with this much more damage, it is way worth it. So we know what we want to do with Donau. We just need an aircraft for it. Now the Deutsche Kaisers, those are going to be a little bit more of a problem. So we need to upgrade your guns. And as I mentioned, we need to make a bulge and replace the machinery to the turbines. And we need to go to 24. That's just how it is. 40 weight remaining. But I mean, when you're bulged, then yeah, we might not be able to get up to this speed. It just might not be possible, which would mean that we would just have to relegate them to colonial duty. I mean, that's, not any major issue, or not a major issue if I remove 2 OU. Actually, if we removed, how many secondaries do we need to remove? So if I remove a couple of secondaries, it's about 30,000 for the rebuild. For caliber 8 guns, they're not bad, but is it worth 30,000? What can we get for 30,000? How much does Connect cost? 60, okay. I mean, well, we're gonna postpone that. I can imagine these also having airplanes, so that would be a pretty good treat. So instead, let us look now at what, the Victoriales? No, the Gazelles. I think we wanted to rebuild the Gazelles. They're 1903. Replace machinery turbines, and they can go to 26 knots. That's just crazy. I think you cannot have the minesweeping gear, right? Yes. So we're just gonna carry the mines, 26 knots. That's pretty much it. You have the best fire control, coal plus turbine. So this is extremely good. Takes so much time though. So much time, and it's actually so expensive. But somehow it works. It just works. Okay, we can go only to 24 knots. Okay then, so that's gonna make it much cheaper. Wow, I could replace their guns to 6 inches. That would make them way more powerful, and not 7. Oh no, that's too many. And yes, it would require reclassification. So let's go with this. A little bit more secondaries, and because we're replacing the gun, there really is no point in, saving weight. Okay, so this is 12,000, and it's actually a pretty darn good rebuild. Oh, okay. So I think we might do this, because in the colonies, or not even in the colonies, they can be a great hunter. So, or raider, in this case, I mean. So let's actually do this. I mean, no, we still can't really do it right now, so let's just wait and do it when we can. We finished construction of an airship base in Tanganyika. USA has completed Battlecruiser Congress, the largest battlecruiser in the world. A revolution in an African country has left some of our nationals stranded. What do we do? Send a strong squadron to bombard the capital. Join an international squadron. Let's resolve this crisis via diplomatic means. We can actually use a little bit of tension decreasing. Superheater, 1% weight saving on machinery. That's actually great, just as we were thinking about rebuilding ships. And despite diplomacy, we increased our budget. No, actually we didn't. That's from the airbase, isn't it? So base overview. Can we say the area overview? How many? No, we can't. Okay. Base overview. So Northern Europe has 8. Indian Ocean now has 16. And I want one more in Northern Europe. So let's build an airship base in Germany. And let's build it in Emden. So that's good because we're going to have more airships to cover this area. Again, I have absolutely no idea how airships works in this context, but we'll see. Our scientists report that they are working on the problems of improved face hardening. Successes elude them. Our scientists report that they are well on their way to understand seaplane carrier. Nice. Yes. Might be great if we actually, research some aircraft first. Because you can carry all the aircraft in the world. If you don't know how to make one, it's really not going to help you. Okay, not much to talk about right now, so let's end the turn. Finish construction of an airship base in Germany. 7 ships has finished their working up. Our scientists are happy to report that they are close to mastering ballistic cap, effective SIGINT. Okay, I have absolutely no idea what that means. Our scientists report that they are well on their way to understanding improved airship tail design. And we have... Okay, we have gotten the possibility to have a seaplane carrier, but we don't have any seaplanes, so... Okay, now the destroyers that we have. Are they in active duty? I don't think they are. No, they are actually in active duty. So we can put them to reserve as well. I mean, it's not going to give us much, but we can do it. So, ships under constructions. In 4 months, we're going to get Maximilian I Joseph, the second König von Bayern class ship. We're rebuilding U2 and we're building 3 of U. Once we finish the Maximilian I Joseph, I'm going to put another ship into construction. Once we finish the rebuild for U2, we're gonna probably schedule a rebuild of another ship. And once we finish the 3 destroyers, we're gonna put more destroyers into production, and probably also 3 more. So let's end the turn. Research breakthrough ship design. All or nothing armor enables all or nothing armor layout. Ballistic cap, gradual armor piercing penetration improvement. And research breakthrough naval aviation lighter than air. Improved airship tail design, improves airship performance. Okay, well that's great. Though I guess that then it means that airships are fully automated. V6 finished our working up. No. Oh, nothing. So do we have the V6? Yes, it's in active fleet, so let's put you to reserve. Making a little bit of money here, but it's fine. Okay, let me just look at the seaplane carrier, because what does the game suggest to be built? 2,000 tons. And it would have a bunch of turrets all around. And no protection. Can you have a boat or can't you have a boat? Building nation has not invented aircraft catapults. Okay, well then, what the hell are we talking about? We got the seaplane carrier, but we don't have the catapults or the aircraft. That's just ridiculous. Okay, FAL F2 is ready. French government is interested in buying the rights to ship design cross-deck fire. Sure, 2,900 is good enough. Tensions decreased. Rumors of British scientists having trouble mastering the principles of specialized submarine designs. Do we have any actual goals around the world? I don't think we do. Actually pretty content with how the world is like now, I think. So So that's actually pretty good. So let me just check the divisions, because we can now add faults. Okay, so you are actually gonna go both here to the second squadron, and you are gonna be flagship this one. So we still don't have FAL F1 finished. It's gonna rebuild the next turn. Okay, then we can actually start rebuilding at least one of the ships that we have. Austria-Hungary wants to extend our security arrangement. Sure, we should extend it. Okay, you finished reconstruction. Heavy cruiser Emperor Carlos V will reportedly be commissioned in 10 or 13 months. We can choose. So I could choose your own adventure. You can just make, any choice you want. Okay, give me a sec. I'm actually thinking that we might want to build a sea lover instead. Steinbeiß. Yeah, let's build another of these ones. Cool. And I'm gonna add the other one to the division as well. And it will be the flagship. And we want to put both of these from active duty. Wait, we don't have them in active duty. Have I already put them into reserve? No, they're working themselves up, so let's go to reserve. Already, we don't need to have them work themselves all over the place while we really don't need them right now. So we have 14,880 Reichsmark in cash. That's actually pretty good. Saving a little bit of money. Maximilian I Joseph is commissioned into the Navy. And we're going to research breakthroughs, subdivisions, and damage control. Diesel generators. Gradual damage control improvement. And we got a quality 0 15-inch guns researched. Okay, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. You can go over here. Nice. 12 5-inch guns, and you got actually 14 5-inch guns. Nice. And we're saving 1920 Reichsmark per month on that. Good. Actually, I want to do one thing, and that was thinking. Okay, you know what? Let me just get my notes up, and we're gonna build the next König von Bayern. König von Bayern. Yeah, it's the König von Bayern. König von Bayern. And could we redesign you somehow? 135. We potentially could give you a little bit more armor. Select all or nothing. I like the slope decked more, actually. 9 inches. Torpedo defense is maxed. Can't carry mines. Thinking if we want to somehow play with this, but I don't really see how we could make this work. So 8 point. Actually, if I load the extended and upper belt, then I could do it easily. Okay, so you are going to be Ludwig I. A little bit of a change, gradual change. I guess fine. Yes, it's gonna take 400 and be developed in 1 month. Cool. Anti-Spanish rebellion has broken out in Cuba again. You are due to hold a speech at the annual gathering of the Naval League. Okay, this will be peaceful. We are prepared to safeguard the interests of anyone we want to rile up. Let's rile up Russia. Newspapers in Spain are clamoring that the Navy needs to build more battlecruisers. Steinbeiß is delayed. Philippines. Latest design Ludwig I is ready to be constructed. So let us build Ludwig I. And we have 565 available. Okay, so that means what I can do here is I can actually get the G1, and I'm gonna rename it to G. Why don't I see those ships there? That's a little bit weird. Yeah, VF1. So this is gonna be GF1. It's just a little bit weird. GF1. And we're gonna make you guys 1100 tons. And that's because you guys are gonna carry the minesweeping gear, which we cannot have elsewhere. You can have a flight deck. Wow, a destroyer with a scout plane would be quite interesting, wouldn't you say? Combination normal, medium. Nope, we can't really do that. No secondaries. Speed friendly. I don't think you can have any armor, can you? Yeah. It would be just too darn expensive. How about armoring the guns? Yeah, you need the belt armor first. Well. Radar limit. That really doesn't bother us. So just, I guess, gonna have a little bit of free capacity. Well, I'll just give you more ammo. I'll give you some secondaries. I could. Okay, so let's do it like this. 170. 165. Okay. So you're gonna have extra secondaries, you're gonna have minesweeping gear, mines, and that's that. Man, we can build 2 of you for the new. Was there a 40% modifier to rate of fire? I really hope I read that wrong. The French government is interested in buying the rights to Fleet Tactics Destroyer Screen. By all means, give me all of the cash. Our scientists report that they are working on the problem of improved seaplane carrier. Well, how about you guys give me something, you know, a little bit better? Like an airplane. Hey! Okay. When did that happen? We can now ask for aircraft. So request proposal. Aircraft row, though we have nothing. Range and range. No, we must select a row and we have no rows available. So the good part is that we now have, you know, available aircraft for design. The bad part is we don't have any aircraft rows, so we still need to have that happen. So we're building the GF1, so let's build another one. It's gonna be GF2. And I'm thinking we're gonna build G4 destroyer. Okay, so that's gonna be an entire new squadron and a start of another one. Good, and that's the last month. We've commissioned 2 submarines. Max Murray and the first Joseph has finished working up. 3 destroyers are commissioned into the Navy, and our scientists report that they have suffered a temporary setback in figuring out the concept of triple bottom. And we get reliable power training and elevation, reduces rate of fire penalty for guns below 8 inches in turrets, and we get a 16-inch guns quality 0. The Junkers company has developed a fighter as a private venture. They want to know if we are interested in buying it. Okay, I could build, buy them, but so Junkers 1914, max speed 80, cruise speed 50, range 45 miles, firepower 1, maneuverability 6, toughness 3. What is carrier? Yes. The reliability determines the likelihood of aircraft being non-operational. Absolute no. Rebellion in Cuba continues. Okay, so intelligence report from France. They are building an air base in Le Havre. We've commissioned 2 submarines. Maximum the first Joseph is ready. And that's that. So let me look at the aircraft types. Here we go. Float plane scout. Yes, we want a range. That is what we want. So get me that. And air groups are all fighters. I think we actually can't do that because we don't have an air base. Can we build... No, we can't build an air base. We can just build an airship base. So we miss a crucial technology that would allow that. But the good news is that, first of all, Maximum the First Joseph can go to reserve, which is fine. We asked for the float plane, but we don't have the catapults, if I'm not mistaken. So that means we still cannot do anything with that. We finished G1 through 3, so now we can build... That would be G5, G6, G7, and that would be G8, which is a little bit over our budget, but it's fine. That means we're gonna have 2 full new squadrons of destroyers. We also finished the submarines. We're building a couple. You're all in Northern Europe. I don't find that as a good idea. So let me just take all of you. Do I have to send the regular submarines or coastal submarines? Let me just send all of you to Indian Ocean. We're gonna see what that's gonna do with our availability in that area. We don't really have anyone there, just the corvettes, so that is fine. Ships under construction. We are actually building quite a lot of things. München battlecruiser, Breslau light cruiser, and Steinbeiß are gonna be done all in 9 months. So in October next year, or actually October this year, because it's already 1914. And we're building 7 destroyers, which are going to be finished in the next episode. All of them, actually. And Leipzig is going to be done in 13 months. That's another battlecruiser. And Ludwig the First is going to be done in 23 months. Okay, so this is looking really good. And once we finish some of those ships, might actually want to start rebuilding. But again, we haven't really fixed the problem of the catapults. So who I can rebuild will be probably the Gazelles, because they are super cheap, super duper cheap, and we can make them pretty good. I don't think you can have the minesweeping gear, can you? Yes, cannot. But you can get the turbine. Central firing is fine. And what did we say that would give you more secondaries? More of this. Oh, I could make the secondaries much bigger as well. So you would have a caliber 6 and caliber 4. That's, 12,000. That is actually worth it, I think. For 24 knots with this quality and mines. Actually a pretty good deal. Or, if I say so myself. So I'd consider that. Well, either way, we're gonna look into that in the next episode. So as far as the tonnage goes, we increased it heavily. We're back to number 2 in the size of the navy. Airships, you got 40, which is still less than pretty much everybody else. Japan has the same amount, USA has less, and even Austria, Hungary, and Spain now have some. Well, tension's pretty good. I'm thinking we might want to target Russia as the next opponent, because they are behind in technology. Their fleet tonnage is actually extremely small. I wonder if I want to take Sakhalin. Not this, we can't actually take that, that's their core territory. But I would be happy to take the Baltic Republics or Finland from them. And that would actually be possible. They have here 1 battle cruiser. No, that's us. They got 2 Dreadnought battleships. What do you guys have? Oh snap, that's a really quick Dreadnought battleship. I mean, it's heavily undergunned, so we could sink it easily, but Rapid Sun. Except they're exclusively going with 11-inch guns on their new design. 27 knots. That's actually really fast. But again, undergunned compared to our ships. They got 3 of those. And here we have the older ones. Like Pobeda, they would sink. With 19 knots, we can basically just keep them at an arm length and just pummel them until they sink. Heavy cruisers. Any newer ships apart from they're building a Scud class submarine. And not a Yakult light cruiser. 24 knots, 4,000 tons. Destroyers of 700 tons. Imperator Petr Veliký, F. Staffy class, 1905. 412-inch, yeah. But look at that armor, that's actually very weak for a battleship. A lot of destroyers. Almas. Any heavy cruisers? Knyaginya Olga. 212 knots. Admiral Spiridov. That cruises 6,000 tons, 22 knots. It's a really decent ship. 8 6-inch guns, turrets. So it's 2 in aft, 2 in front, and 1 on each side. Well, I'm 100% sure we could take them, so that might be a valid target for us. Either way, thank you very much. See you in the next episode.